friends, I am Arpit and I am here with today's analysis. Today is 14th of December and we are going to deal with three very important topics which are in news. The first is India to chair 68th Commission on Narcotics and Drugs. So narcotics and drugs and organized crime, which is impacting not only India, not only South Asia, but the entire world as of now. Many terrorist organizations have indulged into narco-terrorism as well. They sell drugs to fund their operations. So it is a growing menace for the world, and India for the first time is chairing this UN Commission on Narcotics and Drugs. It is under the prerogative of the UN ECOSOC, the Economic and Social Council, which is a principal organ. Next is India Internet Governance Forum. This is the fourth India Internet Governance Forum which was, conducted, and it is conducted by MeitY, that is Ministry of Information Technology, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and NIXI, the National Internet Exchange of India. This clearly wants to, make sustainable use and better use of the internet, reduce cyber crimes happening on the internet, and make internet a better place to work, to live, and to survive. And this is what the theme for this year's India Internet Governance Forum was. Then healthcare in India. Ayushman Bharat, today we will be covering under this thematic discussion, and then we will be looking into the MCQs based on these three topics. So, the first topic, India to chair the 68th Commission on Narcotics and Drugs, and this is the first time India is becoming the chairperson. First time. So, 68th session of UN Commission on Narcotics and Drugs, for the first time we are chairing it. Ambassador Shambhu S. Kumaran, India's permanent representative to United Nations in Vienna, formally assumed chairmanship of this. Now about UN Commission on Narcotics and Drugs. So what is the administrative structure and all, we should see. It is a principal policy making body of United Nations on drug related matters, responsible for monitoring global drug trends, supporting member states in formulating balanced policies on drug control, and overseeing the implementation of key international drug conventions 1961, 1971 and 1988. CND is mandated to decide on the scope of control of substances under these conventions. Actually, see, drug trafficking and all, this is transnational in nature, means more than one countries are involved. And since more than one countries get involved, so it becomes important for an international convention to be there into place, and an international organization, I would say, or a commission to overlook the, I would say, control of drug, circulation, or reduction in drug consumption ultimately. Organizational structure, it operates as one of the functional commissions of the United Nations Economic and Social Council, that is ECOSOC. It also serves as a governing body of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC it is called as, which is headquartered in Vienna. So it was UNODC which formulated these conventions, 1961, 71 and 1988 conventions. Member states and regional representations. So CND has 53 member states. So these 53 member states are member states of ECOSOC also. ECOSOC also has the same number of member states which are elected by ECOSOC. CND is guided by a bureau which includes one member from each regional group of countries, example Asia, Africa and Latin America. It meets annually to adopt decisions and resolutions on global drug control issues. Intersessional meetings are convened throughout the year and at the end of each year. The Commission meets in a reconvened session, and budgetary administrative matters are also addressed in this reconvened sessions. Subsidiary bodies. CND also has subsidiary bodies. It has 5 subsidiary bodies that focus on national drug law enforcement. Europe, Latin America and the Caribbean. That is South America, Latin America is Asia and the Pacific. 4th is Africa, and 5th is the Near and Middle East. So this is how it is divided geographically. And see, this particular region, Asia and the Pacific, has 2 major drug producing regions of the world. One is Golden Crescent. It comprises of Pakistan, Afghanistan and Iran. And the second is Golden Triangle, which is on the eastern side of India, Myanmar, Thailand, Laos and Vietnam. At times China is also counted in it, but yes, largely these 4 countries are part of Golden Triangle, which is known as the world's highest drug producing region, apart from Golden Crescent. And unfortunately, India is sandwiched between both of them. Now, India's role and significance as chair. So, it is a historical first. It is for the first time that India has undertaken this responsibility, and India's selection underscores its commitment to addressing global challenges and contributing to international discussions through multilateral frameworks like United Nations and all. Focus on the global south. See, this particular menace or any menace has more impact on the global south as compared to the developed countries. As chair, India is expected to advocate for the interest of global south, and India has also proclaimed that it is going to be the voice of the global south. So, this is what India is going to do. Priority areas, India will focus on integrating the concerns of emerging economies with the priorities of developed countries, striving for holistic and balanced approaches to drug related issues, especially in areas such as illicit drug trafficking, substance abuse, and the availability of controlled substances for medical and scientific purposes. Then agenda for the 68th session. Agenda for the upcoming year is expected to focus on the following key issues. First, strengthening international collaboration to combat illicit drug trafficking and substance abuse. Addressing the social and health impacts of drug abuse globally. Ensuring availability of controlled substances for medical and scientific purposes. Continuing to build on multilateral dialogue to promote evidence-based solutions. And India will work closely with other member states of the CND to advance equitable, inclusive and sustainable strategies. Connection with ECOSOC. The ECOSOC overview, it is one of the associated commissions under ECOSOC. ECOSOC is one of the 5 principal organs established by the UN Charter in 1945. Apart from ECOSOC, there is UNGA, United Nations General Assembly, there is United Nations Security Council, there is International Court of Justice, and there is UN Secretariat. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5th is obviously UN ECOSOC. It is responsible for coordinating and directing the economic, social and humanitarian and cultural activities carried out by the United Nations. That is the main task, coordinating and directing. ECOSOC's mandate includes fostering international cooperation in addressing global issues such as poverty, human rights and drug control. What is the relationship with CND? As a functional commission of ECOSOC, CND's activities and policies are shaped within the broader framework of ECOSOC's objectives. Because see, drug trafficking and all definitely have a negative impact on economic and social development. It plays an important role in guiding the CND's work, ensuring that its decisions align with the UN's broader goals for global development and peace. This is how it is. Next is India Internet Governance Forum, IIGF. The 4th edition of India Internet Governance Forum, IIGF, will be held on December 9-10, 2024. Venue event will take place at the Bharat Mandapam Convention Center, Pragati Maidan. Key supporters, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology and National Internet Exchange of India, that is NIXI. What is the objective of this IIGF? The objective is to bring together India's multi-stakeholder community to discuss critical aspects of internet governance, promote meaningful dialogue and highlight India's leadership in the global digital landscape. So this digital landscape is diffusing and more people are using the internet. India has one of the highest number of smartphone users. India has one of the cheapest mobile data in the world, and this is increasing. Many businesses are dependent upon internet nowadays, and the student community is dependent upon internet. Our life without internet is incomplete. So the basic necessities nowadays is roti, kapda, makan, a mobile phone with an internet. So it is like this, and it is important that this particular landscape, the digital landscape, is governed properly. Theme of IIGF was innovating internet governance for India. So it was talking about internet governance, using internet for public service delivery or service delivery and for the good of the people. This theme will guide discussions and activities focused on creating a secure, inclusive and ethically governed internet. Forum will explore the need for bridging the digital divide, improving trust and safety in the online environment, and utilizing advanced technologies for nation building. So, this is what it is. Key focus areas. First is empowering connections. Discussions will focus on enhancing access to the internet, ensuring inclusion and safeguarding digital rights to bridge the digital divide. So, digital divide is basically the difference between the people who have access to internet versus those who don't have access to internet. Those who are not having access to internet can be due to multiple factors. Internet coverage is not there. So, that coverage has to be there. Their economic capacities are not such that they are able to, buy a smartphone, recharge for an internet. That has to be there. Then only internet will be more inclusive. Legal and regulatory frameworks, it will explore ways to create balanced, growth-oriented policies that strengthen internet governance while ensuring digital justice. This is the main focus area or the theme of this year's IIGF. So, this is what it is. Responsible artificial intelligence. This is very much important. It will promote the ethical and effective use of AI for societal benefit, ensuring AI technologies align with values of inclusivity, fairness and accountability. Building a greener and sustainable internet. IIGF 2024 will highlight energy efficient practices and focus on environmental sustainability within the digital space, aiming to reduce the carbon footprint of internet infrastructure. Trust and safety, enhancing cyber security and fostering user confidence in the online environment will be a key discussion point. This includes strategies for building trust in digital platforms, data security and privacy protection. About IIGF, it was launched in 2021 as the Indian chapter of United Nations Internet Governance Forum. So, it is affiliated with the United Nations Internet Governance Forum. Mission and purpose, it aims to foster collaborative discussions among stakeholders to address the challenges and risks of digital world while maximizing the opportunities provided by the internet. It is a multi-stakeholder and promotes dialogue between representatives from the government, civil society, industries, technical communities and think tanks. Inclusive and collaborative approach, it is having inclusive approach involving diverse stakeholders in shaping policies that aim for an open, secure and accessible internet. We are also focusing on cyber security, digital inclusion, data privacy and things such like. If laws are needed to be made, they will be made. If policies are needed to be made, they will be made. But yes, the ultimate objective is making internet a better place to survive. Making internet, a better entity to use. Now, let's get into the thematic discussions, that is healthcare in India, Ayushman Bharat. It was a breakthrough, I would say, scheme launched by the government of India in 2018. It is dealing with, primary, secondary and tertiary healthcare. So, for primary, there is Ayushman Arogya Mandirs, the primary healthcare centers, which are there in almost every village. And this is the first component of Ayushman Bharat scheme, that we have to enhance the capacities of Ayushman Arogya Mandirs. These were earlier known as health and wellness centers, aiming to provide primary healthcare to the people. For secondary and tertiary, which are more complex medical procedures, the second component of Ayushman Bharat is Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. This is the second component of Ayushman Bharat. So, Ayushman Bharat has two components and these two components are dealing with primary, secondary and tertiary healthcare. First component, that is Ayushman Arogya Mandir, earlier known as health and wellness centers, dealing with primary healthcare. Then Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, which is an insurance scheme which ensures insurance of 5 lakh rupees per household per year. You have to make this Ayushman card. And what is the premium you have to pay for this insurance amount? Premium is 0 rupees. You don't have to pay any premium to get access to this insurance. And this insurance is applicable in government hospitals, no doubt about this fact, but in some private hospitals also which are empaneled with the scheme. So, the people who are having this, access to this card, they can go to those private hospitals also to get treated when they need treatment. So about Ayushman Bharat, two components are there. Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana, earlier known as the National Health Protection Scheme. This is the insurance scheme which I just told you, insurance of 5 lakh rupees per household. Ayushman Arogya Mandir, earlier known as Health and Wellness Centers. This is the second component. This deals with primary, this deals with secondary and tertiary. So primary, secondary and tertiary all are covered. So it is an integrated approach for the primary section or primary healthcare treatment that is free of cost. The theme is, or the aim is, to develop the capacities of that primary healthcare center, to develop that infrastructure. For secondary and tertiary, developing infrastructure is in the focus, but yes, main focus is providing insurance to the people. HWCs are aimed at improving access to cheap and quality healthcare services at primary level. HWCs, the Ayushman Arogya Mandir, the first component which we discussed, they were earlier known as, HWCs. PMJAY will cover the financial protection for availing healthcare services at secondary and tertiary levels. And it is the world's largest government-funded healthcare program in the world. So, Ayushman Arogya Mandir Health and Wellness Centers, what does this component says? They are being created by converting the existing primary health centers and sub-centers. They provide comprehensive primary health care, CPHC, including a child and maternity health services, non-communicable diseases, also diagnostic services, and free essential drugs are also provided. All these services are provided in primary healthcare centers. HWCs are important because they offer CPHC that is critical to enhancing the health outcomes. If the disease is treated at the primary level, many diseases are such, there will be no need to go to the secondary or tertiary level, since it will not get more complex. Timely intervention will be there, treatment will be given, and the need or the pressure on the secondary and tertiary infrastructure, medical infrastructure or healthcare infrastructure will automatically reduce. So this is what the importance of this is, the primary healthcare component, the Ayushman Arogya Mandir. Then Prime Minister's Jan Arogya Yojana, the for secondary and tertiary, this component is. So it is a health insurance scheme, 5 lakh rupees per annum per family, no cap on family size. It is intended to cover all secondary and most tertiary care expenditures incurred. It will include pre and post hospitalization expenses as well. It will also cover all pre-existing conditions. Pre-existing conditions, let's suppose someone is diabetic. So generally what happens is, insurance companies say ki bhai, the premium will be more. If someone has undergone a heart surgery, the insurance companies will say, private insurance companies will say that we are not doing medical insurance of this person. But here, all pre-existing conditions are covered. 3 days of pre-hospitalization and 15 days of post-hospitalization like medicines and diagnostics are covered. The beneficiary will also receive a defined transport allowance per hospital. Beneficiaries can take cashless treatment from any empaneled hospital anywhere in the country. So these empaneled hospitals can be private hospitals also and public hospitals also. Who is eligible? The scheme is to target over 12 crore families. Deprived rural families are identified occupational category of urban workers families also. They are identified by the latest socio-economic caste census data. They are different in rural and urban areas. So let us check out rural area beneficiaries. They covered all such families who fall into at least one of the following 6 deprivation criteria and automatic inclusion of destitutes, living on alms, manual scavengers, primitive tribal groups, legally released bonded labor, etc. So these are covered, automatic inclusion is there. But apart from these 6 categories are there. Only those people living in only one room with kacha walls and kacha roof. No adult member between the ages 16 to 59. Households with no adult male member between ages 16 to 59. Disabled members and no able-bodied adult member. SC/ST household. Landless households deriving a major part of their income from manual or casual labor. So these people in the rural areas. In urban areas, 11 occupational categories are covered: rack pickers, beggars, domestic workers, street vendor, cobbler, hawker, other service providers working on streets, home-based worker, artisans, handicraft workers, tailors, sweepers, sanitation workers, mali, construction worker, plumber, mason, labor, painter, welder, security guard, coolie, and other head load workers. So transport workers, drivers, conductors, shop workers, assistants, peon in small establishments, electrician, mechanic, assembler, and washerman, chowkidar. All these are occupational categories which are covered. Now there is this NHA, that is National Health Authority, which is the apex body responsible for implementing Ayushman Bharat Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana. It has been entrusted with the role of designing strategy, building technological infrastructure, implementation of National Digital Health Mission to create National Digital Health Ecosystem. To implement the scheme at the state level, the state health agencies, SHAs, in the form of a society trust have been set up by the respective states, and these SHAs are working under the NHA, that is National Health Authority, which is the apex body responsible for implementing it. Now, a few months ago, this particular scheme was extended to all the people above 70 years of age, and additional 5 lakh rupees cover have been given to them. The old age population in India is increasing. In absolute terms, it is the second highest in the world after China, and their medical requirements are also increasing. So this Ayushman Bharat Yojana will have been extended to that category as well. We covered it, and all the people above 70 will be having additional coverage of 5 lakh rupees. How is this scheme performing? So as of September 12, 2024, there are 1,74,453 Ayushman Arogya Mandirs across the country, comprising 1,12,617 sub-health centers, 23,900 primary health centers, 5,000 urban primary health centers, 5,632 urban health and wellness centers, 12,178 Ayush related centers. Ayush is an alternate form of medicine. Now, as of September 2024, 35.5 crore Ayushman cards have been issued. So, authorized hospital admissions, over 7.79 crore people have been admitted in the hospitals, got the treatment. Amount authorized for treatment, 1,07,125 crore rupees amount has been authorized for treatments. Over 29,650 impaneled hospitals are there, private, public, including both. So, this scheme is working, and obviously there are some flaws which need to be addressed. Okay. Now, considering the MCQs, consider the following statements with respect to Commission on Narcotics and Drugs and mark the correct one. CND is the principal policy making body of the United Nations on drug related matters. The CND is a specialized agency under United Nations. So, which of these statements are true? Only one, only two, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. Under which principal organ is the Commission for Narcotics and Drugs? Very simple question. UN Secretariat, General Assembly, Security Council or ECOSOC. What was the theme for India Internet Governance Forum 2024? Innovating Internet Governance for India, Building Responsible Internet, Making Internet Inclusive, or none of the above. Fourth, consider the following statements with respect to Ayushman Bharat scheme and mark the correct one. So, Ayushman Bharat deals with secondary and tertiary healthcare only. Ayushman Bharat covers all the elderly above 70 years of age. Which of these statements are correct? Now, yesterday's MCQs. Which of the following HEPs built by India and Bhutan is the largest in capacity? It is Tala HEP, hydroelectric power project. Tala for a region. So, for Tala for a reason, we know this slang. So, 1020 megawatt. Which of these is the major theme of the Jalefu Mindfulness City project? So, it is related to urban development and urban development in a sustainable manner. That is why sustainable development is the correct answer over here of this particular question. Third, consider the following statements and mark the correct one. India-Russia Intergovernmental Commission, IRIGC, is an institutional mechanism established for deepening the strategic partnership in 2000. India and Russia are co-developing S-400 air defense system. This statement is not true. We are not co-developing. We are purchasing it from Russia, and this has been delayed. And this IRIGC is an institutional mechanism. This is right. It was established in 2000. This is also right. So, first statement is right and the second is wrong. We are not co-developing. We are purchasing it from Russia. Which of these was a focus theme in Poshan Ma 2024? Environment conservation? Yes, it was. Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam. Digitalization? Yes. Poshan tracker and all was there. Anemia was there. Anemia Mukt Bharat was launched, and Poshan Bhi Padhai Bhi, obviously this has to be there. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of the above is the correct answer for this particular question. And which state was the top performing state in Poshan Ma 2024? This is a very straightforward question and a very straightforward answer, that is Maharashtra. So with this, we have come to an end of today's session. I will be seeing you tomorrow now with more such informative news pieces. Till then, you guys very well know what to do. I'm not repeating it today. Namaste. Jai Hind.